What's up, everyone? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and thank you for joining me here for your free picks for Monday, April 22nd. Well, guys, it's not a busy day. It is a Monday after all, but we have a few great games to talk about. One game in LaLiga and a couple of games in Serie A, including that big derby, De- Derby della Madonnina, which is a matchup between Milan and Inter at the north of the Italy. This is not a Champions League week, which means that there are no games in Europe or the Conference League, Europa League, or the Champions League, that is. But we have some interesting games midweek. We have EPL games and we have the Italian Cup or Coppa Italia and some other games as well, which means that we'll be plenty busy to put some bets down and get some free picks out for you in videos such as this one. Saturday was quite solid. I gotta say, we've hit that EPL games quite nicely. There are a bunch of games that are still going on at the moment when I'm recording this video, so we'll see about those later. The parlay is still alive as well, and hopefully we win that one as well, which is gonna be the second one in a row once we do that. For more free picks, of course, go up to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel and check it out. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. And for my best bets, click the link in the description. That will get you up to my page where you can sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, or even a 7-day, or even a month-long pass if that's something you want to do. Let's get this show on the road, guys. We are going to kick it off with matchup in La Liga. That is the game between Sevilla and Mallorca. And I think that in point at this point of time, we have to take Sevilla on the money line. Sevilla is on a two-game winning streak right now. They have kept a couple of clean sheets in a row, and winning two games on the road in a row is definitely not an easy task for a team like Sevilla, who's been struggling for pretty much the entire season. But they have shown a lot of character, and they have shown some great football in those two games, and they well deserved won those two games as well. Mallorca, on the other side, hasn't won any of their last three games. And when playing on the road this season, they have one win, six draws, and eight losses. Now, on top of that, Sevilla hasn't lost to Mallorca in any of their last three games. As far as the standings go, Sevilla is pretty far above the relegation zone with 34 points in 13th place. It's quite clear that they will not be playing in Europe next season, which might actually be a good thing for them to regroup and kind of maybe rebuild the team a little bit. While Mallorca on the other side is above the relegation zone by 5 points, they are in 16th place, and I would say that they're fairly safe to stay in La Liga this season because I believe that in the next few games they will get 4 or 5 points maybe, which should be enough for them to stay in the league. But as far as this game goes, like I said, we have to take Sevilla on the money line at plus 100. It's too good of a price to miss out on, especially now that Sevilla is on a nice winning streak and that they're playing so well on that defensive end. So, Sevilla versus Mallorca, I'm taking Sevilla on the money line. In the Italian Serie A, guys, we have two great games kicking off with Roma versus Bologna. That is a 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time game. Uh, Roma has 55 points. They are in fifth place. Bologna is in fourth place with 59 points, which is the Champions League spot, and that would definitely be an amazing thing for them to do to qualify for the Champions League. Uh, I also see that the Roma is actually in the Champions League spot, which is fifth place. So I guess the Italians are getting an extra Champions League spot for the next season. But the pressure from behind of them is pretty strong with Atalanta with 51 points and Lazio with 52 points. Uh, as soon as I saw the matchup, I thought this is going to be a very, very hard game for both teams. Roma played a midweek game last week against Milan in the Europa League. They have knocked them out and they're now undefeated in their last five games. While Bologna has lost only one of their last six games, and when playing on the road, they're actually quite hard to beat with four wins, four losses, eight draws, and three wins. They are not the greatest team on the road, but they are very, very hard to beat. They're missing a couple of players, not too many. Roma is missing one player, which is Endika, who is still at the hospital, if I'm not mistaken, because he had a cardiac arrest on the pitch a week ago or so. But like I said, as soon as I saw the matchup, I thought this is gonna be a very hard game for both teams. So I'm gonna be going with the first half draw at minus 108. I think that both teams will try to play a little bit more defensively oriented and focus on defense, especially the first half, and then whatever happens in the second half. We'll see what that is gonna be. But Roma versus Bologna, I'm taking first half draw. And the last pick of this video, guys, Derby della Madonnina. Like I said, Milan versus Inter, two teams from the same city, two teams playing on the same stadium, and two teams that are on the opposite sides of form right now. Milan hasn't won any of the last three games. They lost two of those three games, and they got knocked out of the Europa League by Roma, which is definitely a shame because they were playing really well and they actually looked like the favorites to win that competition. Inter Milan on the other side hasn't lost any of their last four games, and the title is pretty much in their hands. I think that they will win it most likely. They have 14 points advantage over Milan, and I simply don't see them dropping that. And I think that they will win the title this season. And they also haven't lost a single game on the road so far this season with 13 wins, two draws, and zero losses. Giroud is the leading goal scorer for Milan with 13 goals, while Martinez has scored 23 goals for Inter. And overall, Inter has been a lot better when it comes to scoring goals with 77, while Milan has scored 63 in 32 goals. When playing at home, Milan is actually quite solid on both ends. 26 scored goals, 8 conceded goals. But Inter Milan, when playing on the road, has scored 36 goals in 15 games. That's an average of almost two and a half scored goals. And they've conceded less goals on the road than Milan has conceded at home. 7 goals to Milan's 8 at home. But when we look at the head-to-head matchups, these two teams always show up, and I can't say that Milan has been successful recently when playing at home, but I think that they will try to bounce back after those unfortunate games in the Europa League, and I think they can definitely get to the scoreboard because uh, Inter's defense has been a little bit sloppy as of late, and they have conceded at least a goal in four of their last five games. So with that in mind, I decided to go with goals in this one, and that is both teams to score in over 2.5 goals at minus 102. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks for Monday. Hope you have a great day, guys. Good luck with all of your bets. And of course, stay tuned for more free picks coming up soon.